Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahanviriyam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma Vitvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So we have been speaking on Patanjali Yoga Sutra. I like one of you, some of you, to let me know what have we spoken so far. Basically, what are those principles, 8 principles that we are talking about? What have we spoken so far? I just wanted to be sure that we spend whatever 30-40 minutes on the subject and you are here to listen, but you also should contemplate and kind of remember so that you can continue the subject. There is a continuity. So what was the first principle?
Yama.
Ahimsa.
Yes. What was the second?
Satya.
Niyam.
Correct. And so in Yama and Niyama, there were 5 different elements in each, which I'm sure you might have made a note and probably remember, but continuing the third principle.
Asana.
Right. So it looks like Chaitali and Kapilji and Aditi probably making note, but I want everybody else to remember. Next, after asana.
Pranayama.
All right. Next.
Pratyahara.
Correct. That was the last what we spoke about, the pratyahara. So it was yama, there are don'ts, niyama, do's, then asana, postures, after that pranayama, discipline breathing, and then pratyahara, withdrawal of sense gratification. So those were the 5 elements or principles we spoke. Now we have the last 3 today, which are Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi.
I want to ask one question. There are
Yes.
8 principles, and you told 2 chapters, Kaivalya and Samadhi. These are the only 2 chapters, or there are any other?
No, so if you listen to the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, or if you read a book, Patanjali has written a very small amount of description on these sutras. And as we know, the Samadhi is the last of all. However, he begins with the Samadhi because he liked to emphasize the importance of the goal. The goal is to be in Samadhi. And then he comes down, he descends from Samadhi to what is he calls a Kaivalya. Kaivalya is the oneness, the complete oneness is Kaivalya. So there is no other option except Samadhi. After speaking on those 2, then he explains 8 principles, which according to him is the process of basically the getting clarity on the subject and purifying your body, mind, and emotions. It is only after you have understood the subject, complete clarity on the subject, then you realize the importance of purity of your thoughts, purity of emotions, purity of your body. And with those elements, then you are on the path of yogic sadhana. his ultimate goal is to be in position to sit in silence and stillness for a very long time and adopt the dharana, which is a supposition of any subject or object, and continue on that dharana for a longer period of time, which becomes dhyana. And after that, when you drop the awareness of both dharana and dhyana, with the grace, you are into samadhi. So this is how he describes. Therefore, he started with yamas and niyama, which are the elements of what one must not do, or what one must practice to avoid. And the second part is what are those things that the aspirant should adopt, should abhyas, should do the practice of those 5 elements of niyama, and then come to a point of starting asanas. We spoke at that time that none of us, including me and many other teachers of today, have completely understood and practiced those yamas and niyamas. It is the statement of the fact that the total adherence to yama and niyama as on today are extremely rare. It was on those days when Patanjali made a note of this description. That was the different lifestyle, and people could maintain that kind of lifestyle and follow those yamas and niyamas. But as of now, those are very hard to follow. So the point here is to follow as much as possible and be aware of the shortfall. I should be aware of my shortfall, that I am unable to practice, let us say, asatya, which is stilling. Because the moment I pluck a flower from the pot, I am stilling it. I'm stilling it from the nature. Now, according to him, that's not the lifestyle of a yogi who wants to adopt the yogic lifestyle. However, we do it. We do it one way or the other. The only point as of now, this modern lifestyle is to be aware of it and try to avoid as much as possible. So those are the principles he laid, and his goal was only to follow the lifestyle of Raj Yoga, which is to be in position to be in meditative state and practice meditation as much as possible, because it is only, and therefore a different school of philosophy. He belongs to the yoga per se is also a school of philosophy. Likewise, there is something called Samkhya philosophy. There is something called Vedantic philosophy. There is another one which is known as Advaita philosophy. So these are the different school of philosophies. Yoga school of philosophy is more or less the same as Samkhya philosophy, where there is a basic understanding of creator and creation. So according to that school of philosophy, these are the two separate things. Creator is one and creation is a separate thing. Where the other school of philosophy, especially the Advaita philosophy, which believes that the creation is not separate from creator. And therefore there is only one. There is no two separate. So there are, if we go into detail, you might realize that when you study the Patanjali Yoga Sutra or Patanjali philosophy of yoga and philosophy of Sankhya, it might sound very similar, but if you are a follower of Advaita Vedanta, then it is there is a big difference. So there is, personally for me, since I follow the Patanjali Yoga Sutra or Patanjali Yoga philosophy, but I'm a great admirer and follower of Advaita Vedanta as well. And at many times, I find there are some points of, I wouldn't say conflict, but there are different point of view in terms of the original creation, the manifestation of universe, for example, or manifestation as such, and the one who created it. So we probably have spoken on the subject called Tattva Bodha and Atma Bodha. These are the preliminary texts where these macrocosm and microcosm are explained, the origin of the manifestation, how it came to being, and stuff like that. So coming back to our subject of Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, he point of view is that the Bhakti Marga or Bhakti is more important, whereas Vedantic philosophers believes the Jnana, the knowledge, is more important. So as I was talking about, there were 6 to 7 main school of philosophy. I'm talking here about 3 schools: the Yoga school of philosophy, Sankhya, and Advaita Vedanta. Now, the Advaita Vedanta believes in oneness. There are no separation. What consciousness we have is the same consciousness is in Supreme Being, or call it God. Whereas the Sankhya and the Yoga school of philosophy believes that there is a creator and we are part of that creator as a creation. We are not the same, we are the part. So this is the principal difference of those philosophies. And the Sankhya and Yoga philosophy depends more on bhakti as well as meditation, that you go and search within yourself. So in that context, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi are very important part of the yoga philosophy, Yoga Sutra. So we'll start with what is dharana. Now, you all know we have been doing it. Dharana is just simply when you sit in silence and stillness with your eyes gently closed, your mind do need some focus. If you have nothing to focus on, your mind will start wandering. You will get hundreds of thoughts. In any case, according to some estimate, we do get about 60,000 thoughts a day on an average. So your mind is all the time busy in thinking one subject or the other. Dharana is to direct your mind, the traffic of your thoughts to one point. And that is all the purpose of dharana. Now, dharana can be a focus on any object or a subject or an image, possibly a divine image, or positive thought, or center of your heart, or between your eyebrows, or tip of your nose, or just the breathing. So these are the different ways to focus your thoughts on one subject, or one object, or one image, whereby you trying to avoid the mind or thoughts. It's like a too much of traffic jam or traffic on the street. Is the same situation in your mind. You have so many thoughts. If you have so many thoughts, you are unable to sit in stillness because you are engaged. Mind is busy with different thoughts. So the first point here is to train your mind to stick to one subject or one object or one image or any one point of focus, and you keep thinking about it. So different schools or different school of yoga have different methods. I have undergone different schools, and I remember there was a school where I was asked to hold a flower on my palm when you sit in meditation and bring total attention on that flower, the flower which is in your palm. So bring your total awareness to that flower. Try to identify that flower, the size, the color, the shape, the number of petals, the freshness, or the soothing effect in your palm. Everything about that flower in your hand. So your mind is only watching that and nothing else. Now you do get other thoughts, but you have to train your mind to come back to that dharana without getting disturbed. Most of the time when you're trying to meditate and you try to do dharana and you're focusing on one, you get other thought, you get disturbed. Idea is not to get disturbed. Idea is to be friendly with other thoughts and just push it aside, bring back your attention to the same dharana that you are holding. So there are different ways. That's what I'm trying to say. The one which I have personally undergone is that practice of watching the flower in your hand. There was other school which I studied where there was a dharana was my teacher is sitting in front of me. A divine light is flowing from him towards me or towards students sitting. So your thinking while sitting in stillness is to watch a divine light flowing to you. So there is the divine light is moving from the heart of your master or your teacher towards you, is the second subject. So you, while watching that light, while watching the divine energy coming to you, you avoid other thoughts, you avoid other disturbances of your mind. So there are different methods. Basically, these are only methods. It has no more importance than just being a method. What is more important is to stick to that method, to stay focused on that particular subject for a longer period of time. So then dharana will then convert into dhyana, provided you are able to hold on to one dharana for a longer period of time without being disturbed. And this is the key factor. And many times the meditation is considered to be the state of dhyana. So state of dhyana is actually not a meditation. It's only the preparation for meditation, because meditation happens only when you have no thoughts, which is equivalent to samadhi. So the dharana is your doing. It's your focusing on something. Dhyana becomes an effortless state of being on that subject or object. It is an effortless state, natural state of holding on to that focus. So dharana is matured and is becoming a dhyana, a state in which mind is completely focused on dharana, and other thoughts are not noticed or witnessed for a prolonged period of time. And this is the state where you are completely undisturbed. And therefore, it's a meditative state. So it is more important for all of us to, at this point of time, to learn to be in a meditative state, which is nothing but holding your focus on one point, one subject, one object, one image for a longer period of time. without getting disturbed by other thoughts. And that's a meditative state. When you have experienced that meditative state, you are still a doer. It is your effort. But once you are established in the state of meditation, it is effortless. It is effortless. You don't do anything. It just, you are into that. And that's the state known as Turiya or Samadhi. So there is a school of philosophy called this Turiya state. The other yoga school says Samadhi. So Samadhi is a state where you are absorbed, you are totally absorbed into that state of dhyana. And meditator transcends to be a meditation. So you see the significance of this. You are not doing meditation, but you become meditation. Then you are a meditation. So therefore, the dhyana is then absorbed so completely that a meditator transcends to be a meditation. And in such state, dual identity disappears. You have no, you do not see anything other than you. And when I say you, is consciousness. So meditator transcends to be a meditation, and dual identity disappears. Oneness prevails. It is only oneness. And that is when you not only believe, but you experience that all is one and one is all. And that is the state when you are in the state of Samadhi. A total state of being, just being a pure consciousness. And this is some state which is not achieved only by your practice or your sadhana. It does require a large amount of grace. When I say grace, it also refers to karma. It is an accumulation of your good deeds, your good thoughts, and your good karmic account that would enable you to come into state of Samadhi. That is why I personally understand that Samadhi is something that is not done, it is granted, it is revealed, it happens. Your effort is only to be into dharana, hold on to dharana as long as you can, which is your dhyana, and that's it. After that, let anything happen. Now, these are all, let's say, description of different state of being, a different state of doing. Most important is to personally experience it. And this is why every time when we do yoga or pranayama, there must be a time for sitting in complete silence and stillness and focus on any one thing and stay in that state. And that's just the practice. You may sit initially just for 5 minutes, only 5 minutes, provided that 5 minutes, you have nothing other than watching that subject or object, nothing other than that. Which means if you feel like coughing, or if you like changing your sitting posture, or if you like moving your neck. No, nothing. You have to train yourself to be complete silent and still. That's very preliminary stage to start dharana and dhyana. If you are not silenced, if you have music playing around you, or if you have noise coming to you all the time, and you're moving your head or your hands or your neck or your body is in some amount of movement, you cannot be in dharana and dhyana for a longer period of time. So one has to learn, practice to maintain silence and stillness, and then pick any subject or any object. You could actually pick up any image. I think we practice sometime that with your eyes closed, try to imagine your favorite spot, your favorite holiday place, your favorite and most enjoyable location. Try to visualize it and do a time travel. Go mentally to that place and feel good about it. Hold on to that image for a longer period of time. That becomes your dharana. And enjoying the viewing the sunrise, for example. If on the beach, if you are there on the beach and you see early morning sunrise, and that is something that is imbibed in your subconscious mind, and you enjoyed watching it, hold on to that image for a longer period of time and make that as dharana and dhyana. Anything that allows you to hold on to it for a longer period of time, and then just enjoy being into that state, and everything else will happen. It is beyond anybody's description, anybody's explanation. I cannot explain what could happen. Only thing what we can do is be still, gently close your eyes, be comfortable, and be in the state of dharana and dhyana. Finished. 5 minutes, then to 10 minutes, then go into 20 minutes, 30 minutes, go on increasing. But moment you feel uncomfortable, moment you feel like coughing or getting up, stop it. Do not push yourself, because that is something you're trying to push yourself. You're going against what your body naturally wants to do. Train your body to be in stillness for a longer period of time. Until then, continue doing for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, or whatever time it allows you.
And what about thoughts during that
Sorry?
process? During that process, if there are many thoughts come, what should we do?
It is your willpower that works here. If you get other thoughts, just gently let it disappear. The moment you entertain your other thought, that thought will take you to the third one, to the fourth one, to the fifth one. It is a lineage, it is continuation. And it may not be the same thought. You will move from one thought to second thought, completely different subject of thought. So what you do is that if you are, let us say, focusing on your breath, that's your dharana. Now you may get thought of that you need to make a phone call, or you need to visit somebody. Now these are your thought of your day. Let it come, but you get back to your original thought of watching breath without being disturbed. You have to be friendly. Let's say I'm sitting here with my eyes closed and I'm watching my breath. Now I get a thought that I have to make one phone call. Now that is a 1 second thought that I got. I don't entertain it, but I simply come back to my original thought of watching breath. Each time when you get other thought, come back to your original thought. When you practice this over a period of time, your mind will understand that you are watching one particular subject or object or image and watching it without being disturbed. So that is why this is a journey. This is why it does need a practice. It does need as it says, abhyasa, every day. And it takes many days probably till you find that when you are sitting for 5 minutes, you are able to watch only one thing and nothing else. For instance, easiest thing, if you can't concentrate on your breath, close your eyes, try to visualize your body. You are sitting, close your eyes and visualize your body, your own body, starting with your toes. But when you say visualizing, you have to go into detail. Watch your toes, mentally count number of toes, the size of toes, the shape, the color, then move on to your ankles, then to your knees. Try to train your mind to remain focused. If you, for example, you are watching a movie, your favorite movie, are you getting disturbed by other thought? No, because you are so enrolled in watching your thought, watching your movie, whether at home or in a movie. The reason is that's something what you want. That's what you like. So you're watching a TV, for instance, at that point of time, you may even ignore your phone call. You may even ignore your eating time because you are watching some show that is of your interest. You're so totally involved in that. Likewise, pick one thing and stay focused.
Suppose I am picking up a flower and I am focusing on that. And can I entertain the thought of that flower, that it is so beautiful, or it is the lovely color, the fragrance is so beautiful? This kind of thought can we entertain, or it should we will focus on that flower only?
No, anything related to that object. Flower is an object. So everything and anything about object. In fact, much going into detail is important, which as you just said, it's not just the flower. What is flower? Flower without fragrance is no flower. Flower without color, flower without shape, flower without the size. So you have to go into all details of that object, whether it's a flower or a candle or candle light or anything.
So that thoughts can be entertained.
Those thoughts are, you are directing your thoughts. So instead of entertaining different thoughts of different nature, you are now practicing or training your mind to focus on one object and all thoughts related to that object.
Okay.
So for instance, right now, 5 of you or 6 of you are listening. Now at the same time while you are listening, you check your mind, you might have some different thoughts while you are listening. Be aware of it. But each time you get other thought or some noise or some sound or somebody is calling you or whatever, come back to the subject, come back to the object of listening or the image. And that's how you practice to direct your thoughts. So you cannot control your thoughts, you can only direct them, giving a direction to your thoughts. And that is why in the beginning, I have explained you the reason why we do the chanting of A, U, the significance is A represents vastness, because you open your mouth, it represents the vastness. Then U, you narrowing down with your lips, U, which means you're narrowing down your thoughts. You are giving a direction to thoughts. And you are into balance. You are in the center. You are focusing on one. So from vastness, direction, and focusing. No matter how much we are busy in our life or whatever, you have to find some amount of time for yourself. When I say yourself, for your consciousness, for your spirit, your soul, whereby you are able to watch yourself you're trying to go inward. And to go inward, the only way is to stop external disturbances. Now, external disturbances could be eyes. When your eyes are open, you are seeing different sight, different things that you see can distract you. So that's why in meditation, you close your eyes, but it should be effortless. That means gently close your eyes. Don't squeeze your eyes. Don't force it. Don't close your heart. Just gently close your eyes so that the sense of seeing is stopped. Then try to, you cannot plug ears, but try to develop this situation whereby you are not disturbed by external sounds, different sound. So that disturbance is also restricted. And similarly, thoughts. That is when you go internalize yourself and train your mind to focus on one thought, on one subject. Many different school, as I was saying, have different develop design very good dharanas. Chanting, for example, chanting of Om, chanting of any other, let's say, mantras or prayers are also very good dharana, as long as you are holding on to it with understanding of the meaning of your chanting. There is one question now. I wanted to ask, how many of you are in position to find, that's it, 20 to 30 minutes to yourself every day without anybody asking you to do it yourself? You voluntarily, you feel like being alone and just watch yourself. I'm not talking about doing asana. I'm not asking you to do any pranayama. Pranayama is great if you can do it to start before doing meditation. But even if you are, let's say, not used to do pranayama, you do not know it, but just simply just sit down in one place for 10, 15, 20 minutes, just sit and close your eyes. Is it so hard to find 15, 20 minutes in your 24 hours? Because this is something you could do anytime. It doesn't have to be early morning. It doesn't have to be at night. Anytime. But try to find those 15, 20 minutes for yourself. Just be with your own self. And that is something which is so helpful. Because your nature, your soul knows all the truth. It knows everything that one must do, one must follow, one must practice. You do not need any teacher. You do not need any books to study. Just read your original thought, your real original soul. Just be with yourself. And trust me, it's not easy. You will not be able to spend 20 minutes doing nothing but just sitting quiet. Forget 20 minutes, try to do even 10 minutes. The only challenge is that you pick up nothing. You simply remain being. It's not easy,
focusing on anything, just simply sitting.
Yes, I mean, you can focus to start with. You can focus on any music, any song, any reading, any image, any subject, any object. Ultimately, those are all external, these are only tools. It helps you to go within yourself.
No, focusing on breathing and sitting for half an hour.
Yes, try. Watching breath half an hour is extremely good. I would be extremely happy if somebody says sincerely, honestly, that half an hour you could continue watching breath.
I do it every day.
I'm so happy. The most important is to be honest with your own self. If I am watching my breath continuously for half an hour, I'll be delighted.
So being with yourself means this only, to focus on something and sit still?
Yeah.
Or you just free yourself and sit with yourself?
Yeah. But the bottom line is that when you are watching breath, as you said, for 30 minutes, you must not have any urge or any feeling to do something else, to think something else, or mind takes you to that, oh, I'm supposed to be meeting so-and-so at so-and-so time, or I'm supposed to be making call at so-and-so time, or I have to do this or that. Then you are not watching your breath.
Okay.
That's why I said, start 2 minutes, 5 minutes. There is a school which says, easiest thing one can do is take a break of 1 minute every 1 hour. And for that 1 minute, just close your eyes and just tell yourself, I am pure consciousness. That's all. But every 1 hour, take 1 minute break, close your eyes, and do the reaffirmation. You may do it for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. On 6th hours, you may forget that I'm supposed to take a break of 1 minute. Why? Because mind takes you to different things.
Acharya ji, you told that you should not control your thoughts, but give the direction to your thoughts. How? How we can give the direction to thoughts that is coming to us? How we can forget it? Yeah, how we can give the direction to...
Simple. Simple. Right now you ask this question. You ask this question because you had a thought of asking this question while listening to what I said. Now, that was your thought, and you asked the question. Now, you are listening to my answer, okay? When you're listening to my answer, simultaneously your mind is raising a second question, a second doubt. Be aware of it. That's all you have to do. When you are aware that I'm watching my breath, yeah, that's your dharana. You get a thought. What happens when I'm breathing? What happens? Your one nostril working. Your mind will start functioning. It will take you to different direction. It's okay. That's the job of your mind, and it will happen. Your effort, your practice is come back and say, I'm watching breath. So it is like talking to your own self. I'm sitting and watching my breath, and I get a thought that it is now time for me to make a call or get ready. I get a thought. I don't get disturbed. It's okay. Immediately, I will tell myself, but now is my time to watch my breath. You understand? So I'm talking to myself. I'm not pushing my other thought. I'm not getting disturbed. I just simply come back to my original dharana. Any dharana that you can have, watching breath or looking up on the third eye or watching your movement of your stomach or your heart chakra, whatever. Any other thought that will happen, let it happen. Your effort is to come back to original thought, original dharana. Do it every day. Do it 1 day, 2 days, 10 days, 20 days, 1 month. Time will come, at least for once, that 1 minute or 2 minutes, when you're watching breath, you have no other thought. You will get no other disturbance.
Similar to that is okay, that we should focus only one point. Then we can do dharana. And many times we play the games like anyone, and we are very, you can say, very interested. We are playing that. So morning I used to play badminton. At that time also I feel that I only play the games. So that time also I feel very happiness and forget to other things. So you say we must focus at one point. So that can be, we can be easily can get meditation or dharana and going to the samadhi. So that's a very big issue. But at least dharana and dhyana we can do. If we are focusing any one point, like chanting on mantras, watching our breath, you can say any one point you are like, you are told the followers, if on that, we can go for that.
Yeah. So there are three aspects. Remember, you just said your experience of playing badminton in the morning and you enjoy it and you get no other thought. You are so engrossed in that game. Yeah. Now that's a kind of meditation. That itself is a meditation. But that meditation is a physical meditation. It helps your body. And you are so engrossed in playing your game that you get no disturbance of any other thought, and you come back to playing your game, which is a meditation physical form. The second state is your thoughts, your mind, which is the meditation when you train yourself to sit still and silence. It's for your mind. And when you are in position to hold on to dharana for a longer period in dhyana, that's for your soul. That's for your consciousness. That is when you realize that I am not doing anything. It is happening. You are effortlessly, you are able to sit without any disturbance. That's for your soul. And that's when you experience the bliss. But we are not talking samadhi. Samadhi is something that you do not know what happens. If you know what happens, it is not samadhi. Because samadhi is, you are physically and mentally out of this place. You do not know. It is just your soul, your consciousness that remains. And it has no language. It does not have any mind or experience or thoughts. You cannot describe it. So I would never talk more on samadhi because it's beyond us.
Acharya ji, I also started practicing the stillness for 20 minutes last year. I've been doing it almost regularly. But initial 10 minutes, I used to feel that, yes, I'm watching my thoughts as if, and then if something was taking too long, so I would just remind myself and come back to the breath. But 10 minutes earlier, last 10 minutes used to be something which would be quite satisfying, as if there was nothing, or I don't know. But now it feels that I am probably so attached to my thoughts, or we as human beings are so engrossed in our lives that one thought after another, even if we keep directing it, so something or the other would pop up, and then we would just be, and my 20 minutes are done. Although I'm able to sit in stillness, but there's something disturbing also for a few days that, oh God, what is happening? Not just, so I don't know. Is it a process that's how it has to be?
Well, I'm happy that you're continuing, but my suggestion is just one thing is just to be aware of it. Second thing is it just does not matter. Trust me, if you are able to sit, let us say 20 minutes, out of 20 minutes, if you can be in the state of one thought or one dharana and dhyana for even 5 minutes, you are done. I think you will be so happy and refreshed, and you feel so, let's say, calm and peaceful. I'm not saying that all 20 minutes you are just holding on to one. It may not happen. It's okay. But even 5 minutes out of 20 minutes, if you are in state of holding on to one image, one object, one subject, anything, and you stay focused on it, even for 5 minutes, it's wonderful. And best part is do not give up. Do not make any judgment that, oh, I'm not able to do this or I'm not able to that. Doesn't matter. Hold on to your practice. Continuously keep doing it every day, even if twice a day if possible, even for 5 minutes. That's it. If that happens even for 5 minutes, it's great. And that 5 minutes can then become 10. Trust me. It's only, and remember, it's not that somebody asked you to do it and therefore you do it. No. It's like you open your eyes in the morning and it's a body clock. You open up your eyes. Nobody is waking you up. No alarm is waking you up, but yet you open your eyes. Likewise, in a day of 24 hours, a point of time when you want to be yourself, even out of 10 minutes or 20 minutes, if you feel that you could maintain that dharana for 5 minutes, it's an extremely good beginning. But unfortunately, people do not find time. And then when they sit, they have many other things to do. They cannot even hold on to one thing for 5 minutes. So I'm sure all of us have had our experiences. It's only to be aware of it. It's not that even if you are able to close your eyes and sit without any activity, that's enough. Do not even think of any subject or any, just remain complete inactive. Practice dhyana in a way to maintain your body in stillness, because it's your body linked to mind that keeps you active. Thoughts and body movement. These are the first two things to control or regulate. Because body movement can be controlled. Mind cannot be controlled. Mind needs direction. And when I say mind, I don't mean mind here or mind. Mind is throughout the body, as you know. So tip of your finger is also mind, and toe, your sole of your feet has a mind too. So develop the silence and stillness. Solitude is hard to find. I do not want that you leave your home and go to some place in solitude, but at least silence and stillness. What about Ritu and Chaudhary? What are your experiences?
This is a new topic, so I'm learning, I'm listening and learning, and I'm learning new things, and I'll start practicing also. I haven't done except practicing with you. So a new entrant into your group, so I'll definitely try it. I'll try to make a habit of it.
Yes. So first, try to be with your own self, talk to your own self. Talking to everybody other than you is not so important as talking to your own self. And when I say talking to your own self is something you just said. Do you remember what you just said half minute back? New subject you are learning.
Yeah.
Ask yourself, is this new subject? Is the most ancient subject that we are talking about? But you are listening first time. That's agreed. That I understand. But
Yeah.
Think about it. Just think about it. Just keep thinking about it. And that's enough. When I say keep thinking of this, in other words, you are avoiding other thoughts. You are not entertaining other thoughts. Even for 5 minutes, just pick up this subject, that what we spoke today of dharana and dhyana. Keep talking to yourself. What is dharana? What is dhyana? How to do it? Keep talking about, even for 5 minutes. Start with that.
Right. Yes.
I'm glad you are continuing. I'm glad you are doing well.
Thank you. And I'll definitely continue. Means I really feel good. Means I have joined, I think, hardly 20 days of practice with you all. So it's very good.
Thank you. Actually, you must not thank me or anybody. You should thank your own self that it is that interest, that urge, that destination. It's all destiny. We've been doing 2 years, but you came in last, as you said, 2 weeks or whatever. How did that happen? How did that happen? It happened. It's only destiny. I'm sure Kaditi has sent messages to the group of, I think, how many? 20 people in the group, as many. But why are only 5 here? It's destiny.
Destiny and maybe preferences are liking, means, and that also due to destiny. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's at the end, ultimately, it is the destiny and the small amount of your free will or free choice. But I'm happy even 5 or 7, 10, continue a regular, that's more important.
If I put it in this way, is it the right thing way to think that my interest is creating my destiny?
It's other way around. It is your destiny that creates interest.
So destiny is not in my hand, but interest is in my hand. I can develop my
Remember,
interest, my desire, my
remember,
yes.
remember we spoke about karma short briefly. What is destiny? Destiny is your karmic account. And it is nobody else but your own karma that brings about all that happens to you in your life.
Okay.
If you are listening to me, it is not it is your own destiny. It is your own good karma, or I wouldn't say good, I would say just karma, that it is your destiny that makes you attend the group, listen, or follow the yoga or pranayama, whatever. It is similarly, whatever activity that you do during the day, it is based on the destiny. And as I said, there's a small amount of free will available for all of us to, but
So can't we change our destiny? Is it possible? Like why I'm
yes,
asking this question? If someone is killed someone or a murderer, so it is his or her destiny.
definitely. So let's say, I don't want to talk about murder, but let's talk about a soldier going to the battlefield. And what is his job? His job is to protect his homeland. In order to protect his homeland, if there are other soldiers who are trying to invade, his job is to stop it. And maybe in that case, he uses his gun and other soldier is killed.
Yeah.
That one is his destiny. The destiny of the soldier who fired the shot, the destiny of the other soldier who gets killed. But beyond that, it is also a destiny of a senior officer who ordered the soldier to go to battlefield. You understand? So
Yeah, I have understood.
it is,
but my
yeah.
question is there. Sorry, I'm taking your time. The soldier, he has become soldier because of his love for the country, because he wants to serve. So that interest made him to become a soldier. Then he could go to the battlefield. Am I right?
Originally,
Not everyone.
yeah, originally that is how it is, but unfortunately no more. Today, soldiers are becoming soldiers not purely because they are in love with their motherland, but because they get a better job opportunity with the government facilities and the whatever other frills. And since he is not qualified to get other job elsewhere, he just developed the ability to be physically strong and mentally weak to listen to his superior and just obey the orders of his superior and do whatever is told.
Okay.
So a good soldier does not use mind, he uses his body. Because his job is only to carry on the orders of his senior. Now, that is why any action taken by soldier, he shares the destiny with his senior.
Oh.
So the karmic account or karma per se is a very, let me say, complex subject. So it cannot be explained in one example. But bottom line, what we were trying to say is that it is all of us, our own destiny, that everything that is happening, or whatever is happening, whatever I'm talking, whatever you're listening, why are you listening? Why are you spending time? It's destiny. You say it is my interest, but your interest is because of your destiny. When he said destiny, it's your karmic account. So I guess with that, we should offer our prayer and conclude. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritangamaya loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, God, for giving us air to breathe. Thank you, God, for giving us water to drink. Thank you, God, for giving us sun for energy. Thank you, God, for giving us good health and happiness. Thank you, God, for giving us positivity. Thank you, God, for giving us all that we need. Thank you, God, for your love, your protection, your guidance, your blessings. Thank you, God, for the existence. Thank you for giving me a chance to serve you. Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful.
Much, Acharya ji.
Have a
Thank you,
nice
Acharya
day.
ji. Thank you,
Thank you
Acharya
very
ji.
much.
One.
For people who have just recently joined us,